Hi, I'm Eugene Capon, this is Capon Design TV, and today we're going to be doing another After Effects tutorial on making the Infinity Gauntlet for Thanos actually work. And when I say work, I mean we're going to be making the little gemstones on the glove actually have like energy and things going about it. And this is a really simple tutorial. I'm going to show you it in a couple of steps, and you know what, let's just jump into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find your footage. Now, I was at Comic-Con a few weeks ago, and I took this wonderful clip of the Infinity Gauntlet for Thanos. Now, before we do anything, we're going to want to save. Now that's all put in here. And then we are going to want to start tracking the footage. Now, tracking the motion is not that difficult. All you have to do is pull up your tracker panel, hit track motion, and then find a very sturdy point. And then from the very beginning, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Awesome. Then I'm going to track the footage. Now, I'm going to want to take all the information. I'm going to want to add it to a null object. So layer, new, null. And then once still in here, I'm going to go to edit target. Go to null 1, okay. And then hit apply. X and Y, yes. Great. Now, as everything goes by, you'll be able to see the null object tracking with it. Now I'm going to be calling this null object redstone. Or actually, you know, this is the blue stone, sorry. Alright, I'm going to go back to the same footage. And I'm going to remove the original tracking footage from it. Go to track motion. And we're going to go ahead and track this yellow stone, which I believe is the Mind Stone. So go through, analyze forward. It's going to do all the tracking. Gonna go to layer, new, null object. I'm gonna call it yellow stone. And what you're going to want to do is have a few tracking points for each one of the stones. Edit target, yellow stone, okay, apply, X and Y. And once you've gone through and done tracking for all of the stones, we're just going to do these two stones for right now. You're going to want to create a layer to give energy to the layer. So the next thing we're going to want to do is create a brand new layer, and this layer will act as our energy, okay? So I'm going to go to layer, new, solid, I'm going to make it black, and I'm going to pull up the effects and presets for fractal noise. Awesome. Now you can play around a little bit with the settings. Let's try linear, swirly, I like that. And you're going to want to you're going to want to evolve it. So I added a key point to the very beginning and the very end, and at the very end I'm going to animate it. There we go. Very cool. Now I'm going to turn this layer off. I'm going to go to the Mind Stone, and I'm going to put a mask on it. Right here. Keep it down. I'm going to feather it just a little bit. I'm going to give it 2 pixels. And then I'm going to parent it to the yellow null. Now when we turn it on, going to be moving with it. Now, I realize this doesn't really look like anything right now, and that's fine. So what we're going to do is grab this black layer. I'm going to go to toggle switch mode, and I'm going to screen it. Yeah, that's starting to look good. So the next thing we're going to do is really beef it up. And I'm going to grab a Video Copilot plugin. That's absolutely free, so anybody can have it, called VC Color Vibrance. I'm going to throw it onto that layer. And then I'm going to move it to kind of this like yellow layer, so the color matches. And as it goes by, that is awesome. And maybe I'll turn down the opacity for that layer just a little bit. Just a little bit. So you want energy, but you don't want it to completely cover the stone. Like, you want it to be noticeable, but you want it to be part of the scene. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with our blue layer. Now, I'm going to go through the same exact settings, or the same exact method that we got the yellow stone. So, layer, new, solid. And actually, I'm going to name these. So, the black solid is going to be yellow energy. And the new one is going to be blue energy. Now, we're going to put fractal noise back on it. But because the stones are different, we might not automatically go to swirly. We might go to rocky or cloudy or subscale. And you know, I'm going to turn up the brightness a little bit, and I'm going to bring the contrast way in there. And then, just like before, we're going to evolve it. Now, I don't want to evolve it too much, so I'm just going to go about 180 degrees or so to get that animation going. I'm going to turn it off. Grab my pen tool while the blue energy layer is selected. And I'm just going to create the outlines. And just like before with the mask, I'm going to feather it about 2 to 3 pixels. And when we turn on the layer, we'll have the energy going. Oh, we need to parent it. So grab the Pickwick, tie it to blue. There we go. Now go ahead and toggle it, just like we did before with the blue energy. Go mode, screen. You know what? We might... I don't like how it's looking, so I'm going to turn down the brightness just a little bit. I just realized you can see a guy walking through here. That's kind of funny. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, turn down the opacity just a little bit. And then let's grab that Vibrance plugin that we had before from Video Copilot. Thank you so much for making that, guys. Turn it to blue. So it's blue energy. It's alive! You know what? It's not vibrant enough. There we go. Now each one of these stones can really have like a different style for animation. I mean, each Infinity Stone in the movies or the comic books are very different substances. Like each one is comprised inside of a stone, but those stones have different properties. So therefore, visually, they should have different properties. So I guess the last thing to do is to make it glow, right? So one, you can get online and you can just look for lens flares, and you can just grab it and then hit screen and then tie it to that same null object, parent it to that same null object that we had before. Or what I like to do is I'm going to go back to grab another black solid, and I'm going to call this yellow power flare. I misspelled power. Well, let me change that. Power, because I can spell, I promise. And then I'm going to grab another plugin from Video Copilot called Optical Flares. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn it to screen, turn the mode to screen, and I'm going to hit options. And you know what? I'm going to add a streak, take away the iris, the ball a little bit, take away the glint, and then I'm going to turn the whole thing to yellow. Okay, now that we have this lens flare, what we're going to want to do is tie it to our yellow stone. So inside of the yellow flare, if we go to Effects, Position Center, XY, and grab this pick whip, what we're going to do is go down, bring the yellow stone, drop down to the position, grab the pick whip, and drag it onto the position. That way, wherever the position of the flare is centered, it's going to be moving with the null object. But say we don't want it right away. You know, we want it to like power up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab brightness halfway in, add a keyframe, turn it to 0, and over 6 frames or so, move it up. And you know what? I like the idea of having 2 of these layers and then rotating the offset. That way you get kind of an X. And if you ever go to like the original comic book materials, Gauntlet, from like back in the day, you'll actually see that it goes in like 2 different directions, which is awesome. So anyway, all you have to do now is, you know, this is really high. Brightness, 80. I'm gonna do that to both. So all you have to do now is follow the same steps for each one of the stones, and you will have a fully working gauntlet, much like this one. Well, anyway, that's our tutorial for today. If you learned something, be sure to hit the like button. If you want more tutorials just like that, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I will keep making them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next video. Pow pow.